So hey guys, welcome back to our channel. You may have noticed recently that we have changed our name from Depression Notes to Mental Health Notes and stuff, because basically Instagram is sort of doing a little thing where they're sort of censoring things that are saying depression, which is a bit weird, so that's why they're changing name. I hope that doesn't bother you or whatever, but our content is still going to be very similar, so I hope you like it. Okay, so today's video is going to be another test video and it's about OCD. Now before I get started with the video, I have OCD, so I know it's very different for every person. So if you do feel at risk, even if you score low on this test or whatever, please go see a mental health professional. I'm not a professional. Make sure you go to a professional to get a proper diagnosis. I said that weird. But yeah, just before you get started. And yeah, so let's get started with the video. What you need is either the notes on your phone, a pen and paper, or just your head. It's pretty simple. There are 7 questions and they're going to be out of 3. So it's not too difficult maths, but you know, sometimes I just want to keep it in mind. But yeah, but I'm going to ask 7 questions and each of them you're going to rank out of 3 depending on how you feel. So I'm going to say how often you experience something, 0 being like never, 1 being sometimes but not very often, 2 being quite often but not all the time, and 3 being all the time. Okay, so first question is, do you get repetitive thoughts that cause you anxiety? If you never get these thoughts, just put a 0. If you sometimes get these thoughts but not often, put a 1. If you like very often get these thoughts but not all the time, 2. And if you always get these thoughts, 3. Is, do you engage in excessive cleaning? Now the issue with OCD is people have different types of OCD. Some people have cleaning, some people have hoarding. So if you sort of have an obsessed thing about something, whether it be cleaning or hoarding, answer it in accordance to that rather than just cleaning, if that makes sense. So basically 0 for never, and then 3 for all the time, and you know, the usual. Constantly check things. So do you constantly need to check if your straighteners are off, if your windows are closed, doors closed? Not in like a normal way like some people just check, but in a way where you're obsessing over it to the point where it's causing you quite a lot of distress and where you feel you might have to check multiple times. So if you never do this, 0, and then you know the drill by now. Do you experience intrusive thoughts that are quite aggressive, whether it be about yourself or about someone else? So say you have thoughts about people dying or things like that, and not in just a general way, but in like a way where it is causing you a lot of anxiety. So answer that, 0 to 3. Is, do you struggle to control any thoughts you have? So if you say you do have a thought pattern, if it's quite obsessive thoughts, quite negative thoughts, do you struggle to actually keep them under control? Can you control it or not? So yeah, 0 to 3. Is, do you have rituals that you perform that provide temporary relief? So say you may turn a light switch on and off 5 times because it helps control the thoughts that are going on in your head. If you do these sort of rituals, they can be any sorts of things, the type of things I mean. Anyway, so score that 0 to never, 3 to always. Is your life impacted by these rituals and by these obsessive thoughts? If it is, I'd recommend you see a healthcare professional anyway, regardless of what your score is on this test. But yeah, just answer it 0 to 3 but yeah, I would definitely recommend, if it is impacting your daily life, definitely go see someone. Scored less than 10, there's probably nothing to worry about. But if you did score like a 3 on any of the individual questions, I'd definitely get checked just to see what see if there is anything wrong, because you don't want to suffer alone. 5 to around 12, like there is clearly an issue, there is something going on, and I definitely recommend getting checked. But you're not at complete risk, but it just depends on the type of OCD you have. This is the issue with tests and stuff, especially for illnesses that are so varied. But so there may be an issue, there may not, but what I recommend is getting checked out. Around 12 to 18, there definitely is an issue. It might not be impacting your life all the time, but it is impacting it quite a bit. So again, definitely go get it checked out. I'm recommending getting checked out on all of these, but like I really do think if you do think you are suffering from OCD, it's best to get checked out. It's best to see what's going on and see what they can do to help you before it gets any worse, because sometimes if you leave it untreated, it can get worse. If you scored 18 or above, you are at very high risk of maybe having OCD. It does depend on what you're like, it depends on what your thing is. You may have OCD and have scored 0 on this test, like it is different for everyone, but what I definitely recommend is, if you are worried, please get checked out, because it's always good just to make sure you're okay, and it could be something else. It could be OCD, it could be something else, but I definitely recommend getting checked out. I hope you've liked this video. I do a lot of OCD videos, so if you want to watch them, that'd be really, really cool. I'll put them at the side if I can, or I'll put them in the link below, like down below. Make sure you subscribe and like and all that stuff, and subscribe to me if you want on my own channel. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all that thing, and hope you have a nice day.